Night.
Our first guest,
Our
for,
first
the
guest
new
for
year.
the new year 2022.
Bacchanal.
Right, Mr. Endale Young, Senator Endale Young.
Go on.
Right.
I wanted to say this too, but we had to say this too. There's a third guest on the program.
Oh God, well, success is
With
success, you know.
you know. So you know.
It's only successfulness already we dealing with
Yeah,
here. So
there's
let's
a-
get with the program.
Nice.
Right?
Alright, cool.
Yeah. Right, we prestige school.
Yeah, we had to bring it back to that.
Yeah, we had to bring it back to that, you know.
Bring it back to that.
So Mr. Young, tell me before we think exactly what is your role and
Portfolio,
function.
yeah. You tell the people.
Alright, so let me just start on the political side of things. So I am the youth officer for the People's National Movement to start with. So I am an officer of the movement in particular, an executive member of the PNM. I also am a temporary senator. So what happens is from time to time, or quite often, when we have people who are unable to sit in the parliament, we sit in that. So it's usually a pool of us that would sit on a regular basis. So I also sit there, which is really considered kind of like the learning, the pool, learning pool. Kind of like,
the shadowing
the shadowing of the pool kind of thing. I mean, the shadowing for a while, I was doing this since 2016, but I feel like, Ronaldo going to World Cup the year before, I just sitting on the bench for the whole time. Just watching the field. Like, it's just sitting on the whole bench. But I mean, I've made several contributions in the parliament and that kind of thing, and more so outside of the parliament. So we've been attempting to just fly the flag of that and other things that we'll get into before the night is over, in terms of just where politics is concerned. Because my view is that, the word politician has become this type of, almost like a dirty word. And people say, you're a politician, boy. From Antigua, he's a politician, boy. And if, however, a drip in the bucket, I've set out in my life to kind of change that. For me and my 6 kids, I try my best to lead the tribe into a way to
God, but you say that 6 easy. Though.
Easy, like, All right, okay.
If there's a program to talk the things, So that's our next invite, they call it. When it's the children conversation.
Next hour?
Nah, take it down. I had to get down. I don't want to get down into the local parlance yet. I want to get
the
down.
first thing I want to say before we start, what we to do tonight with Karen and I, was to kind of the structure to not go all over the place.
Sure.
I don't know how many active politicians will actually come and sit down in that seat you're sitting down.
I know a couple.
I appreciate it. I don't know. I said, I say I know.
No, I can bring them on. I can bring them.
I like the jersey I have on.
Yeah. I had to wear this.
Be an experience.
I had to wear this today. Today is that day.
I carry call senior politician in that she called.
Yeah.
No, I when I check the dress code, and I'm an avid listener from the first program. I'd be home shouting at my phone or the laptop saying what I chopping this boy. And, yeah, talk the things. So I'm saying that so I know the dress code before I come.
Right.
So I do my
'Cause we
research.
lime
We linemen
in the Gayelle.
in the Gayelle and this is lime. So we linemen in the Gayelle.
Right.
So I hope all this is the Gayelle.
It is.
So I walk with my stick where I soak in P because I come to talk the things.
All right.
So that is
Well,
why
there we go then.
I have requested that we get the lines for the calling and we want to hear the things.
Yeah, well, the calling segment will be the last
No problem, but I'm saying I am prepared to answer
some questions.
any and all.
All right. So the first question we'll start with tonight. Why do you think a lot of black people think that politicians or politics has failed us as a people?
So let's start out with, let's break down what you're asking. Failed, we have to determine what passes.
Failed or failing?
No, that's fine. Fail or failing, we must determine what passes. Excuse me with the little white rag, because
You living?
Nah, oh God, that's a long time, Karen. I try now how not to.
Check the radiator. Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Coolant.
I think what is never clear is what is success. We just don't determine success in the black community.
Okay.
So I am of the belief that whatever we have, all of the people in the community are a subset of the community.
Right.
So all of the black politicians are a subset of the black community. And, I belong to the PNM. And we seem to have predominantly those type of people. And I say something that, sometimes people say politician and then PNM and them. But what it is that we have some issues that are predominantly us. It has nothing to do necessarily with any political entity, because this is the easiest thing for us to be able to point a finger. So to answer the question and to stay on track, the first thing is, I think everybody in the black community has to, not everybody, but we first have to decide what is failure.
Right.
Because, one of my mentors in this political realm, or one of the people that I would have heard from in this political realm, is a fellow called Patrick Manning. And he was an avid believer of creating opportunities for all. Right. Now, if you ask me to get something done, and you ask me to get something done, and I create the opportunity, and you take advantage of the opportunity, and he does not, did I fail him?
No.
So the first thing we have to define is where does the failure lie? Is it not that there are the opportunities?
Right.
Or are we not the type of people to not want opportunities as long as it's not hand them out? As long as we're not putting food in your mouth and chewing like this and squeezing your throat, as long as it's not a corporation work or a do work.
Right.
So what we really want is a do work.
I don't work.
I don't work.
Okay.
That's what we want. We want
so
that. Not all levels, and not at all stratas, and there have been failures by politicians, by politics, in terms of getting to the community.
Before you go further, I want to ask, based on the last part of your response, the people who might be seeking the do work, I like that phrase though.
Don't work,
yeah. They didn't create it.
Why you say that?
They didn't create the jobs that you don't have to work in.
No.
They do work.
Right.
No, they created the demand for it.
Right.
So if we go down this rabbit hole, and let me just say this, it becomes which comes first, the chicken or the egg.
Right.
Because you could say I didn't create it, but the politicians created it. And then I could say, but you vote me out 33-3, You make sure I lost every way, when I take away the dude. When it now start and I take it away, our people say we want it back.
Right.
And at all points in time, it is that we want. So when you hear people say they're not doing nothing for nobody, what are you really saying? Because you both are successful gentlemen, at different levels. But I cut my hair by you all the time, and I wear your clothes. As a matter of fact, but I leaving to go to Nigeria on the 24th, and I have some merchandise that you have from me.
Nice.
We will put it out, but I have to have my things when I go in. Right.
Shout out to Auntie Gems.
Yeah, boy, this
Herbal wine.
Smooth.
Infused. Right?
Hey, they tell me that,
She reached out to me and she said, hey, you have something for you. I'll taste it and thing. I said, well, hey, you're bringing it on the show. Right? We like to showcase the black businesses. Right? Yeah. So, Auntie Gemma, thanks.
No,
oh,
nice. And I know and especially on the program where we was given the voice by Uncle Errol Fabian to
nice.
talk the things as he did say.
Right.
We don't really hear other ethnic communities. You might hear it because you in it, but we don't really hear other ethnic communities so hard on the politicians. And when I say so hard, I mean demanding of them now from this level. And I want to say, because I know I only recently started to understand lobbying and them kind of things. So we know, yes, at a certain level
they will do it.
Yes.
But this is our lobbying, eh?
Right.
So the reality of it is, at the level that you are pulling the thing and lighting the fire, I don't want to make no references, but I'm saying
the reason why he said
it is lobbying as opposed to at somebody who has the money and the ability to say come to some dinner and you sit down and say listen, we're able to do so on. So you lobby with what you have.
Right.
And this is in, so let us not just look at Trinidad, we're looking at what we call the Commonwealth system, which is people who were colonized by England and move into their own independence. So it's from a particular style of government.
Right.
And in the Commonwealth, it's lobbying at different levels. It's not different in many other countries, from African countries to Caribbean countries to South American countries.
So, Because I like, let's make it happen, they'd say that, boy. Living in the Commonwealth, but the wealth in common, boy. Right? The style of politics, all of that is part of the reasoning, because what we was doing, at least I was doing too, was talking to a lot of younger people, because I know it has certain things that I have a bias with. I know that. Nobody never tell me that. So what I was doing was, for a little while now, asking younger people some questions now, and that one of the things is that they're not satisfied with the style of governance, with the things that is put forward, and they don't feel like if they have a say. Now, I know you always say get involved.
I'm an avid believer that.
But they don't see
The hope, they're losing hope.
They're losing hope, and they don't see the avenues to get involved.
Well, I would say, as a party, which is the institution behind the government, understand that what you're talking about there, well, at some level, it's really a party function. And as a youth officer, I take that very, very seriously in terms of creating avenues. So when I ran for youth officer, I ran a straight campaign on particular pillars. And one of those pillars is access. I kind of vowed to be the door, the access for young people, and not just me at home and I'm in my own self, but through whatever we was doing, whatever plans and whatever. And there's some things coming out of the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service, my DNS. So stay posted for that, because I'll be doing some ads on this program of the things that we have coming for our youth, both disenfranchised and otherwise. But yeah, so it's first on the parties to be able to do that. So there are issues of engaging youth.
Right.
But if we're being real and talking the things, that is a different bracket. Not only black, that is all young bracket. So you have all young bracket on both sides of the divide. As a matter of fact, in the other communities, particularly East Indian, it might be worse because of the lineage you have, because they were not dragged from their homes and taken out and kidnapped. I don't like to use slavery. Slavery is a proper word. You're probably in slavery right now. You probably have a mortgage. Mortgage is up, slavery came up by selling yourself into slavery for whatever you wanted to pay for. Right. So you gave yourself into service. This thing that they call kidnapping, that they pass off as slavery, I would not say that we were slaves, we were kidnapped. We didn't choose that. Right. And therefore we didn't have our hierarchy, we didn't have so they came with that culture. Right. And therefore, they also have that older people, younger people fight. If you look at the political divide, the other side always talk about they're using the younger people when it comes to election, but it's the older people be running the party. It's the old males that don't want to go home. I mean, some of them, oh God, they're playing on a Rasta wig and all kinds of things, but they would not go home across on that side. So I'm saying there's the old young divide as well, right, in the midst of the politics, right, where older people just don't want to go. Right. And I always tell people in this party, it have a kind of thing that the leader, the founder of this party, Eric Williams, he did any work. And like everybody's aspired to want to do any work. Oh God, we have a thing, we have a fright of things like succession planning and raising people up. And that comes from the African community. From the community, I go back to my statement that those are things that exist in the midst of any black community. I'm talking about from Union, watch what happened with Watson Duke, to anywhere where it's predominantly black people in the hierarchy. Compare it to the PNM and tell me if you don't have the same problems. Largely, it's the same hierarchy of problems, but the expectation of the politics is that you came to fix it. Right. That is the part I want to go. Because there's an expectation of us that is unfair, where you expect us to fix things, and by us, I'm putting myself on the politician side. Right. But as I've said to you, gentlemen, but you give us no respect. Them politicians can't tell me nothing. MP, we don't care about. So the other side, if an MP or a council is coming to something, even the fact that they're coming, they're giving us a certain amount of respect. And because they have the respect in the community, they could speak to the businessman, they could speak to the school that you want to get your child into. But in our communities, we don't have that respect for the person.
Oh, that didn't just happen overnight.
It did. It didn't happen overnight. It was from the beginning. Tell me when it wasn't happening.
Right. So what caused that? We wouldn't wake up today and just decide, me don't like my councillor.
No. So let me ask a question.
Or I don't like my MP.
No.
Because respect is good.
And also you're in a position where you're around people, you're helping people. People don't just wake up just so and...
Is respect earned?
Yeah.
You try and respect it because you earn it?
Because I earn it?
Yeah.
I believe so.
How you earn it? To them.
Me.
Exactly. So my point is, there are some respect that is earned,
Right.
but there are some that is given by way of the position that you hold.
Right, okay, I understand the
And
question.
what I say to you is, there are some things that is the respect for the office, not the person. What you're confusing is, me as an office holder, whether I really respect you or not is not, but if the MP or if the minister or if the senator or if the councillor is coming, that office requires a certain amount of engagement.
Right.
In a manner. The other communities have it, we don't have it. As a matter of fact, we feel like they should not get nothing. They should be last. The children should get nothing. By that means when you put them people on, but really and truly, when does my job finish? So if you call me to have a cooking night and tell me your house burn down, I can tell you call me back in the morning. I can't tell you that. If I'm the councillor,
Right.
and you call me and say, councillor, my house burning, Gayelle. Come now. And I say, you have reached. Call me back in the morning. I can't tell you that.
I have a response to that.
Give me.
My response to that is, nobody didn't hold a gun to your head until you go there. You put yourself forward for that, and that is part of it.
Right.
No. So that you bring there, I'm aiming to get a piece of work for that
Right.
as soon as we come back from this break.
Yeah.
Like you want to host the show?
Hey, look.
Oh, this clothing line is all about opening the black man's mind. All about reminding us as how beautiful we are for the near or far, yeah. Oh, the clothing line features t-shirts, checks, polos and shirts. Oh, dashiki, lady v-neck, lady tank top and baby tees, yeah. Dresses and cotton bags and hats and many more. Oh, and the know beyond experience.
So we back, you know. Yeah,
back.
so you say you wanted to throw some boy. On my head hard, so there we go.
Right. So this boy, I'm not afraid of nobody. You see, the point there is, you made a statement, and this is where the social contract is lacking.
Right.
When you pick up a work, you just tell me that is what you sign up for. But why you sign up for? I didn't sign up for what you expect, you know. You understand?
Right.
When you go into KFC and the girl, the cashier, who say, she ain't putting out no chicken. She working the rule now. Because she's supposed to cash. And you say, but she could go on. You telling her, but that's not her job spec, eh? In that regard, we are void of knowledge, the average black person.
Right.
It's available to us. We know about Kanye, we know about Yeezys, we know about the latest Jordans, we can describe everything.
Yeah.
But we don't know the simple things that you want to complain about. So my thing is, you have to earn my respect to complain about particular things. Not as a politician, just not as a person.
Right.
You have to know what you're talking about. You can't be expecting your MP to do what your council is supposed to do by the law and by what their portfolio is.
Right.
So many times, by the time my MP might drain flood, but you don't know where your council, you're living next to your council, is lying with him and drinking with him, is he supposed to fix it? So you now put a expectation on someone that doesn't necessarily happen, and then as you say, you sign up for that, but who is to say? And then my question is, what is the social contract? So you want to win all the time. So you don't have to respect me. But you don't have to get anything where you want to complain about that. And remember, when I expose myself, it is all my thing, my children exposed to ridicule, to thing, everything.
Yeah.
I get no benefit for that. I should get none.
Right.
So my child shouldn't go to no special line, it should not know special school. He's a servant. So I get nothing there. But in the regard, there's also no time for me. I work sun up to sundown every day, all the time. And the payment, you don't want to raise the pay. And then I can't thief. Because if I thief, it's a thieving politician. So then my job is to be a slave to you. That is how the African community treats its politicians.
So
That
your
work, you sign up for, but I didn't agree. You don't know what I signed up for.
So, Mr. Young,
Tell
I want
me.
to jump back in again.
Jump back in, man.
Right? I like the part where you say about getting education and information and things, right?
Right.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I'll leave in room to be wrong. I think me and you had this discussion already, and you said no. But is it, if you're serious as a politician, you seriously want to help the people, and part of that helping is informing them, wouldn't it be your prerogative to show these people, yo, this is where it is go to your MP for. This is where it is go to your councillor for. Right? Because I know you're a man on the ground. Right. You on the ground with the seer, with the here. But these is things, I mean, I would like to think that I am somewhat informed. But these is things I know here. Because in my mind, I don't think, well, Karen is the councillor and you're the MP. Something happened, he's easier to contact. I'll go by he because it's the same
portfolio.
Why is this information not available to us? No, you would say it is available, but let me be realistic. The communities we're talking about not leaving and going to library for that.
You're picking up your phone? Brother, all I'm saying to you is this program was a genesis of awakening the view of the African man. Who come and make all of this? Uncle Errol came to look for you?
No. We went to him.
Well, anything you want, seek and you shall find. And the fact remains, it is an indictment that as intelligent as you are, as informed as you are about Africanism, you are uninformed about, we are now being informed about business. And we are uninformed about the political structure because we see it as the enemy. We see it as them and us. We know them. And therefore we want to know nothing about it. But that is how we can make a difference. So I say, on my own, let's just say a year ago, 2 years ago, the same effort I put out, I wanted to help some people. I got 30 hampers for the year. For this last year, I sure gave out more than 1,000 hampers. And let me look at hampers, because it's such a hand-them-out thing. But I'm saying I've made several opportunities, business-wise, to get homes, to do different things, that I made no more effort in myself. I put out no more effort than when I was doing it on my own. But the avenue that is politics, because we look at this as enmity and we don't get involved, you might say, well, I do it on my own. But what you're doing is a drop in the barrel to what we want. So if there's a vehicle, instead of driving the car, you've proven that you could walk the town by. Oh, go on, get the vehicle and drive. Right. So my thing is, I agree with you that the information should be made available. But the same information is made available to all communities. The same information comes through the Parliament channel. So the Parliament channel is on YouTube and have an app. And anything come up, it's pop up and go blink. But have you ever added the Parliament channel?
No.
In your point. So the information is in the same place that you would, a rapper that you might look at is in your feed. And everything that he does comes up. But are you interested? Because without interest, making information available is irrelevant, you know.
Right.
So if your mother didn't cut it to go to school, I sure I wasn't going to Karen.
Yeah.
If London wasn't so dread.
I still wonder why I went there for.
So if London wasn't so dread and such an imminent danger in my mind, I wasn't going to school. So I didn't have an interest to learn, but I had a fear of that.
Right.
Other entities knew that we owned the lands, knew that we had the positions, knew that we held. So they didn't have an interest alone. They also had a fear that they would stay where they are. So they forced themselves to know and learn and understand the systems that we took for granted.
So my next question is based kind of following that, right?
I hope I stay on track.
Because my mind, in my mind, if we know
whoever this
Gems,
is,
anti-gems.
anti-gems, you're making sense.
If we know the some of the unique problems that face the African community, should we not tailor things towards that? So the question is, politicians seem to be out of touch with the people that they are elected to represent. Why? And I want to, I want to hear how I word it. Seem to be. Right? And the reason why I want to bring in that one now is because you say, the thing like the Parliament channel and thing. Let me give you a reasoning. I used to do a lot of things with the Emancipation Support Committee. Right? But one of the things that, and I've told some of the people involved in it, that I think they could do better with, is reaching out to the African community. Here why. They have lectures, they have great lectures, real information thing. But the places some of these lectures are held, the people that you want that information to reach not even to go there. Who even move and love until who the youth you really want not even move and love until to go JFK auditorium in UWE. So we need to go into there, we need to, there's my thinking. We go to the commissioner of police and the army, we have an lecture in so, we want police and thing, presence, thing, and we go. And I say, that's my thought process. I leave room to be wrong, but then my thought process is the same thing with the information that we need to get into the community from politics. Because the guy said, right here, and I know here, it have a real big difference in the role
between the council and the MP. And one of the reasons behind this question, the real reason behind this question is what's going on right now. In terms of the pandemic and, you're seeing things happening and stuff, but it seems as though the information not reaching up. You understand?
That they're really out of touch.
Yeah, like they're out of touch.
So let me just say, I think many politicians are out of touch.
Right.
And I'm not equating that with no fault on any other side, but the politicians need to be in touch. But some of it is because some of them just, it's time to go home.
Yeah, because when I look at that situation with the wastewater situation this week with Wassa and the Beatam, and the response from the MP,
I didn't get a chance to read it in totality.
Yeah.
In terms of what his personal response is. But I'm saying, if we talking in general, a lot of times after being in something for however long and dealing with people now, trust me, the spirit of the people could get into you. Because trust me, if it happened to Moses, partner, if you know the story about Moses, he take people out of thing, part the sea, bring them out, feed them. They want quail, they wanted chicken when the man gave them fish and manna and thing. And he said, we don't want that. We kill out all of them. When they reach in the end, he said, but we need water. And he cussed and strike a rock and God killed him. I say that to say that he allowed the people to make him get that way. I'm a practitioner, so I could also tell you that serving a people that does not know what gratitude is or how to show gratitude is also, it's a thankless job. And at times it may get you callous. And you may only see my callousness, but you don't see the daily me putting out and just getting cussed, and me putting out and just getting cussed. Because I sure you experience it in your own life. Just say, boy, I don't want to say the words, but like, and curse.
Yeah.
People just say that. People say, oh God, I do so. You know, my thanks. They come back to complain again. Couple that with what he said before, where people don't even understand what the job is. So my job is whatever I feel I need from you. I have to work that the MP or the court. That's not the MP job. I don't have this. And why you have a work? Because you spend your years, you're supposed to be putting in a proper education, frolicking, and now I have to mind you.
Yeah. The responsibility and the accountability.
The accountability. So I say, first things first, I say, many of them are not in contact. But you don't have to worry about that too much.
Right.
That's not the part we have to worry about, because there is a formula for that. The formula is, let us take what happened in Tobago. The people, whatever side, I am PNM. But the people of Tobago decided they did not want the PNM in a particular way.
Right.
And from the political leader come along and said, we have to take the voice of the people. And it has always been the characteristic of the PNM to when we lose, and when we lose bad, to say, okay, we take what you say, you have beat us, these men are not doing well, we'll come at a fresh set. And they might do well for a while, and then they may not. So I'm saying that there is a fail-safe for that. And we don't want to use that. We don't even use our vote the way it's supposed to be used, you know. Because the average person don't vote. But there's a fail-safe for that. But there's no fail-safe for you not taking responsibility for yourself. There's no fail-safe for example, we talk about the politician 90% of the time, but we leave the public service out, you know. Because your mother, your aunt, your cousin, and your nana, your outside woman working in the ministry and leaving 12 o'clock, boy. But if you go by the minister to ask her, by 2 weeks now, I ask the minister, 5 years I waiting for something for the minister, and the minister can't get done, but the minister don't do that work. He doesn't. You're outside woman doing she nails and leaving at 10 o'clock in the day and going and calling in sick. And we know these things and we joke as a community about it. Yeah. So our productivity is low. And that's where you have to get your document from. That is where you have to get your license from. That's where you have to get whatever you need. It comes from in the system. And the system escapes. Because no matter who is in power, public servants not changing how they operating.
Yeah. And is that because of the unions? Where you would say
that is another entity. I work National Petroleum. A man was caught in National Petroleum smoking marijuana when it was illegal by a Horton sphere, which is a sphere of LPG gas. I want you to hear me well.
That's an atomic bomb.
Yeah. that in Mexico, when it blew up, when we overlay that map, the radius reached the Twin Towers, and the union fight for that man to stay. I'll get the rest of the story when we come back.
Yeah, that's nice. Yes, man, come on there and we show you have a problem with that.
Oh, this clothing line is all about opening the black man's mind. All about reminding us as how beautiful we are for the near of fire, yeah. Oh, the clothing line features t-shirts, checks, polos and shirts. Oh, dashiki, lady v-neck, lady tank top and baby tees, yeah. Dresses and cotton bags and hats and many more. Oh, and the no beyond experience. You're
So we're back.
Yeah, we back.
Mr. Indale Young, the youth officer for the People's National Movement.
Yeah.
We schoolmates, all we went Success Lab until together.
97 to the world, pick up 97.
Yeah, I don't know, he's 96, so.
Ile lola.
96 forever.
Yeah. Right, so we have one more question, and then we open the lines, right?
Sure.
Because we want to hear it from the people then.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Right, so the last question is, why are black communities so far behind in terms of infrastructure? And is this one of the reasons for the high crime rate in the black communities?
Nice question.
Yeah.
Boy, I vow to be honest on the station. Anywhere I go, and people know me for that. The truth about it is, there is some truth in a community affecting how people operate.
Right.
The standard of the community.
Yeah.
How you put it. I can say there has been a view that the black communities, and remember for me it will be constituencies in that thought process, not only community but constituencies, is like your wife. And the PNM has had, in some parts of its history, courting the outside woman and spending all the money and coming home with no money for your life. That has been a thought pattern and it's been evident in some ways in terms of, because you know that is the sure thing, and that is your base. Our view is that we have to include. But if you look at the black community, it mirrors the black community, you know. A black man wants to marry a woman who have a little shiny, have a little Indian. She's a little Douglas. Our trend look nice. But most other communities will go back to their land to get one of their own. So we always have this, it mirrors the way we think in terms of, I have to impress others because I done had this already. So there is some of that. I must stand here to admit, and it's something that I can tell you, in whatever capacity I can, as I grow in this politics and I have friends, we aim to deal with directly. But I could also tell you, as one of the people attempting to fix some of these communities, it is very hard to upgrade infrastructure in places where it's a which comes first, the chicken or the egg. Because I have gone to do work, infrastructural work, and get run out by gunmen already. And I've seen communities where we have said, there is now money, there is now abilities, there is now access and opportunities, and they in turn take those opportunities and just strengthen themselves more. So when you say, oh, boy, if we had more opportunities, because sometimes if we don't know our history, we could forget how something started. You know? A lot of the rhetoric, a lot of the rhetoric that we talk and we say, boy, they don't do nothing and they don't do nothing, is because we were not there. We forget, we don't pass down very well. That these things happened in those days, and who get run and who get killed and who get shoot and who get thing. And then when the situation comes to a place that it is untenable, you say, but look how this kid, how the government let this happen. But they came to fix it twice. I know of access roads that could go from Port of Spain all the way down into Mova. And when you go to fix it 3 times, if a contract make things sign up, and well, now if we can get this, we can't think it. And when they pave it, they want to pave it anyhow. But we just want to get the money. And then when the road falling down, it's cameraman and TV6. They don't like nobody.
Yeah. But I think the reality we facing there is that those things are not spoken of here, right? And this is one of the issues we have.
Always.
We have an issue because I bring you here because I know you're a man that's talk.
Right.
The things. You ain't afraid, you're like me.
Right.
Right? But it happening and it is not being spoken about. And then the people in the community now saying they don't do this and they don't do that. But when them same people protecting the same bad man who running all the out of the area, then who is to blame? Who is
Like
to
the young
blame?
man who they couldn't find the week before, his last 2 years or whatever it is, when the police kill the man, the whole community come out, they kill so and so, and garbage truck come and burn and thing and whatever it is. They kill a small man for his phone. Nobody in the community know what it is. They ain't drag no garbage bin, they ain't burn no thing. The young boy was going Trinity or QRC or some prestigious school in town, had a little cell
We
phone.
don't say prestigious school on this program.
All right, some school.
But I understand your point. And
Some school.
it have no way to defend that.
Right.
But one of the things I say, and again, I use the Emancipation Support Committee, and I remember telling exactly this. Sometimes the onus is on you to say that. You got to tell
I
me.
have a little problem there too, you know.
No, just not here.
Brother, I have some boy for them too, you know.
Here, on this
All
one,
right.
right?
No, not with
Because-
you. I'm talking about the Emancipation Support.
Right? Sometimes we don't know. Again, we're talking from a point of ignorance. And it's not ignorance as in, I want to be wrong and strong, you know. Ignorance as in, all I hear and see it, here what I see. The cameraman and them gone, the reporters go. And I see how bad the road is. I see it in no drainage, no nothing. That's what I'm seeing. I ain't hear that 3 times or they try to fix it and government run all day.
Right.
And if I don't hear that, and all I hear and seeing is the bad roads, right? Then my mind will be, well, they're not doing it enough, or they're not doing good enough. We had to hear that too.
And
Because that part of that is on us to fix that.
Yeah.
I can look at you for that.
Right.
And one of the things that they always say that the PNM is guilty for is that the next side, they in your face, We pave our road, we fix our pipe, we do this, we do that, we do the next. But the PNM PR lacking.
Agreed.
The PNM PR lacking. So it's not that all you're doing.
No, but when we fix a pump and we fix a booster and we pay it in the papers, the other side say they fix a standpipe and pay in the papers, and our people curse us. Because they know who they are.
Right.
We don't know who we are. So sometimes we repeat their rhetoric, and I'll say this to you too. We ask for the PNM to be a black organization, but it's a political organization. And that is where I think the major issue is. And that's why I say I have some Boa for the Emancipation Support Committee.
Right.
And by extension, the
PNM
community
has always been perpetuated as the black community because the
perpetuated
face has always been black.
But the face of the other parties have their communities too. But they have their leaders, their ethnic leaders.
Right. The Mahasaba.
That they could call upon a party that is predominantly made of them.
Yes.
So I saw the Sanatan Dam Mahasaba call out the political leader and say, no longer you'll have our support. We fed about this, we fed about that. Who doing that for you, boy? So you would understand, we can't even get together to form ourselves into something. Let me forget the PNM now.
Yeah.
To form ourselves into something that if we say, if all they don't do so and so, have until and so on will be no more. We don't have it.
True.
Because we are not together in that way.
Yeah.
So now you put a request on somebody that you know you can't do yourself. So you're asking your son to do something that you know you can't do. And want to beat him if you don't do it. But you can't do it. So the missing difference there is that we have to get together. We have to have a caucus at this, at all they try, all they didn't work. And that is why the support committee that is supported by the government financially should have a stronger role about our plights.
I agree.
Should be in the community in a particular way.
I agree.
And therefore, if they have a stronger role and they're in the community, it means they could now pander, question, speak to the party or the government, and we will have to acquiesce.
So
Against
we
it.
need that
But what you are
power.
asking for is the person you asking the judge to be a lawyer.
So that is kind of going to that now. So we wouldn't see that morally. We would only see that via big stick.
Right.
That's what I'm asking, because if you're saying we need that, like, I mean, I don't want to sound like a naive or have a utopian vision or something. They so simply how I just put it. Bread, you put yourself up for a job, you gain your salary. It's just like anything else. You just tell people go to work and you expect a certain kind of production out of them. Because you know, talk about public servants and the people outside who want to look at it, right? Yeah, you real focus on that. Right?
Yeah, but
right?
wow, get something said.
But it's the
We have to
same
open the
thing.
lines, huh?
Yeah.
It's the same thing I see it with the politicians. Because I have a problem with, and again, I leave room to learn. Having to make appointments and things to see MP and ANC MP in a community that you're living in, and 3 weeks and 4 weeks and you can't get to see the person that you vote for that you think could make a change in your community or continue to uplift it or whatever. I have a problem with that.
3 weeks and 4 weeks? You
ain't
want to
seen
see
them.
him?
Yeah.
Oh God, we gotta come back. Let me get the lines. We gotta come back.
So
There
that
are
is
25, there are 10,000 people in Barata Sour, or 11,000 people for you to win. There are 25,000 people when you win that you have to serve.
Lines done like
Line
What,
and light
boy?
and-
The people that want to.
When we say that you have 25,000 people to see, I believe that
Take it.
a MP should have a structure.
Good night, good night.
Good night. I know you have a new director at your show because he's saying when to have phone calls and when to go to a break and all kind of things. Fussy like to talk.
This sound like Uncle Chris. What going on?
Yeah, old people be up after what's the time? On news, it ain't news yet.
I did. Nice program, brothers.
We
Thank
respect
you, thank
them.
you. Big up Phoenix Logistics. So they want to
they
bring
have
in
some good
anything.
points, and just as a politician, he does some, you know.
Right.
But to the serious thing, my brother are joking, but to the serious thing, you're correct where the information, the information is there,
Right.
and sometimes we really do tap into it. And I like the point you brought where, we probably need to really subscribe to the YouTube channel where we will get the little pings when something is sent out and all of that. We have news.gov.tt, we'll get all the legal notices and all of that. And, what I want to employ our African people to do is after the budget and focus on these things. Mm-hmm. After the budget, they just give you a list of all the ministries that are going to be doing stuff and all that kind of thing, right?
Right.
And they put in the papers, where you could access the information. Brothers, let us try to get our people to access the information because it's there.
Agreed.
Right? The information is there.
Yes.
Right? We spoke about some of the things that may be affecting the infrastructure in the community and that kind of thing. If it is we have a bobo, and you don't treat that bobo, it'll start to get bigger and bigger, and next thing you have to amputate the whole leg.
Cut off the foot, yeah.
You have to amputate the whole leg, right? And next thing they just tell us is that you don't take the same towel you wipe the bobo with and wipe your face. Because what will end up happening is that you will take the infection to different areas of the body.
Right.
Right? So we had to start to treat with our people. We had to start to give them the mindset, teach them, help them to think basically. We had to help them to think because sometimes what has happened is that we talk, and they talk about going into the community and the fellas and them, they want to build the drain, they run you out and that kind of thing. But they want to help or they want to make the money quick because all they could understand is that a contract coming here, I can get $2,000, but that's just for 3 weeks. Right? That money go done.
Bigger picture.
That money go done. They go buy 2 clocks, they go buy a bottle of Shamdo, whatever the thing they just drink, and the thing nice.
Uncle.
Right? They smoke a big split, but they never understand that here what? If I get this work and I do this in 6 weeks or whatever the case may be, and I get $2,000 or $3,000, I could use that money now to invest into something that I don't have to look for another piece of the contract that's coming into the community. So we need to educate our people about business, about investments, not about moving away from the dependency syndrome. And you brought something to light in the deal that, probably we really don't look at is that you have everybody looking at the politician, the council, the MP, or whoever to do whatever, right? But is the public servants that does do the work? The speech is not the minister that write the speech,
True.
Right? The minister don't ever write the speech. You have people who does write the speech and things for you. You have people who does do things, to fill the office.
Yeah.
So when it is, you go by tongue and country to get approval, and as you say, the outside woman, because you just give she money to go and do she here, the point she weave and whatever, and she leave 10 o'clock to go and do that, right? So something sitting down on her desk, taking 2 and 3 months, and then we blaming the whole system, we blaming the whole ministry, but again, it's the public servant. But brothers, you know me, I could talk and I could jam my partner, but I always want to tell you, congratulations to this program. It's a lot of highlights. Keep up the good work.
All right.
If nobody else can call back, I will call back again. But let me get somebody else a chance.
All right.
Brothers.
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Thanks for calling. And big up Phoenix Logistics. All they want to bring in a house, bring in a car, bring in anything that can boil down to the ground. Phoenix Logistics.
Phoenix, you need to start advertising the program, man.
Yeah. We've been
talking
calling.
now with him. He doesn't say
Okay.
Good evening.
A blessed good day. Nice show.
Thanks, man.
Goodness.
Right. I believe you guys by me, okay, right? Is that, for example, Sawa Lamatil.
Right.
Which is predominantly PNM.
Right.
Yes. Right? I think that they are not doing enough to enlighten black people. They are keeping them in a way, well, they will always need their bread. And after that, the caller said, you know, I always say, well, why did you put on Parliament channel? Then, well, if you go and put on a Parliament channel, you understand? You will have to make sure these people and them, you know, reach higher heights. And I believe also with the black man, where further is concerned, our race the same as I have 15 child murder. Understand? So all them little black boys struggling on the outside, and them father now come, the man who will put a quick money in the pocket, which could be the drug man.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you know, we as black people do not take parentage seriously.
Right.
When the other races will push the train. I ain't the entire black race around the body, but no God is bad. No. Yes, we have black people who will start, but we are in the minority.
Yeah.
Sour Lavantil. Check this places you have. You understand? I can remember in Sour Lavantil, right? The food that was coming to councillors was not even made in the Sour Lavantil region. Most of the contractors out of the Sour Lavantil region from all 2010 or the, you understand?
Yeah.
So we have to really reach them fellas. I don't really see them as born when the election reach. They get a jersey, a bottle of champagne, oh God, and the next week is pressure. You understand?
Yeah.
You have to go to these fellas. Listen, I know you are the block columnist, so you have to form your company. Open something, get the whole year, also for them is big men. Not because they're 35 years is a big man, you know. There are a lot of people who are 60 years and they're not big people, you know. They're big people by age.
Yeah.
But not in responsibility.
Right.
And we are falling down here as Sour Lavantil, especially predominantly. And that poor booms.
Yeah.
Our Sour Lavantil shouldn't be in this condition at all. At all, where black people is concerned.
All right, but thank you, caller. We don't, I don't want to cut you off, but we're running out of time. But thank you very much for your contribution. Thank you very much for your contribution.
We might have to bring back Mr. Young again.
Yeah, and I want to employ you as the gentleman who called to also do some mentorship in your area.
Yeah.
Reach out to the young men because you're sounding like somebody who has some information. Talk to them young fellas and them, show them, you know. Let me just don't leave it up to the government. Right, callers? Sorry, we can't take any more calls. We have to wrap up. We
can't get 30 seconds. We can't get a 30 seconds call. We started late. All right.
Right, so we want to thank.
Wanting to call and tuning in.
Yeah.
Send questions to the page.
Send them to the page.
If you're on Facebook, on Instagram, send me questions, and you know it's something we could probably address in another show.
Yeah.
And I'm also on Facebook, NDALE and Dale Young YOUNG 2020. You can just, if you find out, if you have questions you wanted to ask, you pass it to the Afro viewer. You could ask direct. Gentlemen, I just want to say thanks for having me on the program. I think we should expand the amount of chairs we have because
we have to have a panel.
No, I want Uncle Errol. I want Uncle Errol bad. I want him come out.
All right, we organize that.
All right, good.
But thanks very much for coming, my brother.
Yeah, brother.
Yeah. Goodness, all the best and all the bless.
Yeah.
Only be safe out there next time.
Yeah.
I can say that he love you.